Hello and welcome to the Swing and Bump podcast. Today we have myself, Wes, James, and Mitch. It's been a long time since we recorded a show. Mitch and James did do their pop-up. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Last week. I'm sure you guys probably have another one coming this weekend. If not, you're going to get fired and you'll stop getting your weekly bonuses.
Dang it.
But I thought that was a success. I enjoyed it. Listened to it on the way home from golfing today. But Mitch and I have both been on vacation for quite a while. So without the two best hosts, James and Wes decided to forego posting a show the last few weeks. Just kidding. Honestly, I do wish that when I wasn't available, we'd be able to post more. It's just tough to do since I'm the only one that knows how to publish and stuff. I should probably figure that out. That's on me. All right. But anyways, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. There's a lot going on in the sports world. Football is getting ramped up. The last day that is the first day of training camp. So some teams haven't started training camp yet.
Yep.
So a lot of them start tomorrow, which is Wednesday. This is being recorded on Tuesday, July 27th. We'll also be talking about the Olympics as they started this past weekend. This is our first show since the NBA Finals. Touch on that. This will be our last show before the MLB Trade Deadline is over here in a few days. Should be a good show. Without any further ado, this is the Swinging Bunt podcast. Enjoy the show. All right, let's jump into NFL first. Training camp has started. A lot of big questions have been answered. Most of them, I would say. Stephon Gilmore still hasn't reported, but the big news is that Aaron Rodgers showed up this morning.
Did you see his outfit, by the way?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Terrible.
He looked horrible.
Dude, I don't know if there's anyone out there that just every time you see a picture of him just looks like more of a douche than Aaron Rodgers. It's just true. I mean, Mitch said it. What did you say? He looked like on the golf course. He just looks angry all the time and just upset at the world. I don't know.
He kind of looks like Keanu Reeves in 47 Ronin with the man bun in the back. Like,
A little bit.
not a fan.
It's like
So-
MVP.
On John Wick.
Before he came back yesterday and the rumor that came out, what was it, a day or two ago, about a potential 1-year deal being made between him and the Packers. Were you guys feeling that he was going to come back or not? When I saw those rumors about retirement last week, I felt like he was going to retire and after his contract ran out, come back.
I didn't see any way he was retiring. I thought trade was more likely, but we saw the same thing happen with Brett Favre about 20 years ago, it seems like. So I didn't see him retiring. Plus, I mean, we're kind of seeing the same thing across the league with Deshaun Watson. They don't want to get fined, so they're showing up regardless of if they want to be there.
I just thought with the whole retire, I was like, he won't get fined if he retires, and then when his contract ends, he can just come back. I thought that might be what he did, but he'd have to wait 2 years for that, though.
Yeah,
which I don't think he wants to do.
Yeah, I just see that Devontae Adams is apparently good with wanting to talk about an extension now, and I'm like, he's only wanting a 1-year deal, so Rodgers could leave after this year. So.
Yeah, if I'm Devontae Adams, I don't try to play past the time with Rodgers. You know what I mean?
I wonder if Adams just did it to help out Aaron Rodgers.
That's possible.
Well, one thing I saw today is the Packers are talking with the Texans about trading for Randall Cobb.
They got it.
They did.
They did
Yeah,
the deal.
and they're like, that was your like that got Rodgers back, getting Randall Cobb back.
I don't
They
know
must be
that
best buds.
I mean, I know he loves Randall Cobb, and he was really mad when they got rid of him. But he's not anything special.
He had 400 receiving yards and played in 15 games last year. He was terrible.
Yeah.
So, hey, I guess they're boys, and Rodgers gets his boy.
I mean, to be fair, he has no one to throw to underneath outside of Aaron Jones. So now at least he'll have someone running across the field that'll be open, who knows his system, who knows how to get open with Aaron.
Is this new receiver not a small shifty guy? I don't know.
Yeah, but with rookies, who knows? I mean, he's had so many rookies in the past, like Lazard and
MVS.
Those are like
MVS.
eighth
Still,
round
this guy,
receivers.
I just don't know how much he's going to do. We'll see. Was it Amari? Is it Amari Rodgers?
Amari
I think
Rodgers.
so.
Yeah.
Another A Rodgers. That's not going to be hard.
I mean, I know that
people were
he
saying
likes
A Rodgers,
Cobb
Green Bay, and draft him in the 3rd round.
Cobb knows the system, but also Cobb can't really separate anymore. So yeah, he can run underneath. That doesn't mean he's going to be open underneath.
Yeah.
So
It won't be. He probably won't do anything man to man, but I mean, in zone, you don't have to be super fast to beat a zone. You shouldn't have to know how to read the zone. So he could still be useful, I'm sure.
I
for some
guess.
things here and there. But yeah, I don't think it was a great trade by any stretch of the
Did you just see the sleeper notification?
No, what to say?
Xavier Howard requested a trade.
Ooh.
Come to Atlanta, my friends.
Why? I'm not getting sleeper
No?
notifications right now.
Well, I
It's really
mean,
annoying.
we thought that he's been wanting to trade for a long time. He's been very unhappy there. So one thing that I saw a potential trade for would maybe something like Chandler Jones and Xavier Howard.
Well, they both won out, so that
They
makes
both
sense.
won out. Yep.
I've also seen
They both
Tua,
fit needs
Tua, Xavier Howard, 3 first-rounders for Deshaun Watson.
Both of them and 3 first-rounders.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
That's
If he
just
wants
stupid.
out, I mean, you're
That-
basically giving up a guy who wants out, and then your quarterback for a quarterback.
No, I would take that in a heartbeat for
Oh.
Texans, but for Miami, I would not pay that price.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's Miami. You're basically paying 3 first-round picks to swap quarterbacks.
I would say
And give up the best corner in the game.
He wants out anyway, though.
Yeah.
that would be the best trade that the Texans have ever done.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a whole lot to compete to.
No.
No, they're gonna suck regardless. So
So what do we I saw a lot in the media about Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams talking about it as like the last dance kind of thing with Michael Jordan, which I think is a stupid comparison. Because Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen won 6 rings and Aaron Rodgers and Adams have never won a single one together.
Yeah.
So when you look at this situation with Rodgers and Adams, how do you guys feel about like their legacy when they leave Green Bay? Do they have to win a Super Bowl here to be considered like all-time greats or no?
Well, Rodgers has already won one there, but you mean
Yeah.
together specifically?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
no, I mean, I think Adams is a great receiver. Would I consider him an all-time great? No.
Mhm.
Just because I mean he's kind of got that Marvin Harrison thing going on. Now Marvin Harrison's considered one of the greats, but he did it with Peyton Manning. That's my opinion.
I think it'll depend how
That's what it
Adams'
is.
career plays out.
You're kind of far from the mic. It's kind of you just look quiet.
I mean, I can hear myself through the. I think it kind of depends how Adams' career plays out after he's done playing with Rodgers, or if they go together. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, with quarterbacks, so much of the fame comes around. It is built around you as the player, and like receivers, so much of what you do is based on the quarterback. So, like for Adams to be considered a truly great receiver, like I feel like he needs to be linked with. You think about Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, Tom Brady and Gronk, or Randy Moss for 1 year, I guess, Deion Branch, or Julian Edelman, right? All these guys are great because they're linked.
Brady did it with a bunch. So
Yeah, he did. But like, I mean, even those receivers, I mean, none of them are considered Hall of Fame. I mean, Randy Moss for a year, but a lot of receivers that are considered like the all-time greats have that other name they're attached to. And I think if he never wins a Super Bowl with Rodgers, I don't know that he will have that greatness tagged onto him. We'll see.
I don't think the Packers are Super Bowl contenders this year.
You don't think they're contenders?
No.
Is it because of defense?
Well, Las Vegas would disagree with you, Mitch, because they jumped up the I think they're like number 2 or 3 in Las Vegas
I
ranking.
mean, he is the MVP.
I don't think so.
But
Just a feeling.
Do you mean contenders or favorite?
No, I don't think they'll be in the Super Bowl.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you're not a MVP or a Super Bowl contender, but like a contender would be like the top 8 teams. They've all got a shot to make it.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But I don't even think they'll make it to the NFC Championship.
Okay, that's fine. You can see that's a prediction,
And if you're not there, you're not a contender.
I suppose. So you mean you don't see them as a Super Bowl team?
So they're not a top 2 team in the NFC.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay, that's not unreasonable. I thought you were saying like they don't come the end of the season they won't be in the Super Bowl picture. Is what I thought you were saying.
Well, they won't be at the Super Bowl, so
So yes.
Such an idiot, Mitch. I love it. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? With
Yeah,
the
what
Packers?
do y'all think about these guys? Well, not Packers, but what do you think about these players and coaches considering retirement due to the vaccine?
Yeah, so we've seen that quite a bit. I know that there was someone.
If Hawkins retires, then we'll cry.
Yeah, Hopkins has mentioned it. There's been a few players, Cole Beasley, but a lot of coaches, like 2 coaches, I think already have retired.
There was a guy with the Vikings, Rick Dennison.
Yes, that's what it was.
He had retired, and then they figured out something to bring him back. So he's actually back.
Okay.
He retired for a day, and then they worked around this.
I think it's very hard to put down my opinion on it. I'm not a medical professional. But and of course a business can decide how they want to levy these kinds of rules for their employees' safety. But I think forcing somebody to get fined or to get vaccinated and then say, if you get sick, you get fined. I almost say that's too much. You can't fine someone for getting sick. I mean, have we ever thought of that anywhere else in the world where you get sick and you get fined by your employer?
No. And that's already, I mean, Frank Reich, the head coach of the Colts, got COVID. Now, whether he got it from a player's unvaccinated or not, we don't know that. And he might have just got it from someone else. And it's proven that vaccinated players and coaches can still get it. So that they could have got it, gave it to an unvaccinated player, and that unvaccinated player still gets fined. So, and
like, it's not like they're doing something irresponsible. Like last year, I understood the fines when you're going into a city or going clubbing or something. You're breaking the protocol that you agreed to. You agreed to stay in your team's hotel. Yada yada.
Dwayne
yada.
Haskins.
Exactly, something like that, right? Or Zach Plesac and Mike Clevenger. They went out and they left. They went in too large of a group, or whatever it was that they did. That's a protocol. This is something that you're injecting into your body that if you believe that there's not enough evidence for you to believe that it's safe, you should not be forced to put something in your body that you don't believe is safe. So, I mean, do I personally worry about it? No, I got it myself, but I understand people who are worried about this. Like, there's not a lot of time that has passed for us to see long-term effects. And for someone to say, I just personally don't feel comfortable to take it, they shouldn't say, okay, well, that's fine. You don't have to do it. But if you get sick, we're going to fine you. I think that's ridiculous. Either say you can't play or say that they can.
I think organizations. Go ahead, James.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the organizations are concerned because if their player gets sick and they have to forfeit a game, it's like, we don't want to be put in that position as an organization. Whether or not that's the right way to handle it or not, I don't know. But I think that's the big concern, being told you're just going to have to forfeit. We're not rescheduling.
James?
So my question becomes is, if you're vaccinated and you still get sick, because it still happens, are you going to get fined?
No, you only get fined if you get sick after not having vaccination.
That doesn't make any sense, though, because, I mean, it's not 100% accurate. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are. I know it's not super. I mean, it's not like 90%. It's pretty high, but not like super high. So I don't think it's right that you can find someone for getting sick who doesn't have it as opposed to not having it. I just think it's so stupid.
You're not saying that just because I had the vaccination would have mean I wouldn't have gotten sick.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think you're looking at it as a player responsibility thing. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing?
I don't think it's a responsibility, but
I think that's
how they're viewing it.
And what happened to like the HIPAA violations? Like, you're not like, my decision to be vaccinated or not is my decision alone. And they're finding players based on that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being a personal decision or a family decision, they're making it a business decision. Which isn't right.
Medical records should be private.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know that necessarily is something that should be even visible to.
I'm sure there's
their employers.
I mean, you get like a physical or something as a player.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't think
that doesn't violate HIPAA.
I don't think us totally understand the ins and outs of
legalities of it.
Well, yeah, I don't necessarily think the organization of the NFL is maybe handling it correctly, but I think we'll see one, maybe two instances of where this is actually a problem, and it's just a lot of buzz right now where people are like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. The season gets going, people are going to go, and one person's going to get fined, and it's going to be the news cycle for the week, and we'll be moving on.
Anywho, I think it's the dumbest thing ever, but that's my personal opinion.
Dumbest thing ever. You heard it here first.
Wow.
What did you think, Wes? Did you have a thought?
Oh, I mean, I kind of already said what I think. I mean, I don't think it's right that they're. I mean, I think players should be responsible, and if you get sick, then stay away from other players, and don't be selfish and say, well, maybe I won't get anyone sick. If you're sick, everyone should stay home. What happened to that? If you're sick, stay away from other people.
Are they going to be testing every day like they did last year?
Not if you're unvaccinated, or if you're vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask at all times. You have to get tested every single day. And they're really making it hard for these players, which is why so many are like, this isn't even worth it. I'm going to jump through all these hoops. And if I don't feel right about getting a vaccination, then it's like, it's not right. It's not fair.
They should either just say get vaccinated or don't. And whatever they say goes. So if people want to play, they can play. If they don't want to play, they don't have to play.
Yeah.
You see Trey Turner just ironic. We're talking about this. He just got tested positive for COVID.
Did he actually?
Yeah, I just got a notification.
And he's been in the trade rumors talks as well.
I wonder if he's got COVID.
Well, Christian Yelich just tested positive as well.
Goodness gracious.
Jesus.
They should have been vaccinated.
They probably were.
Well, I mean, John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau too.
Yeah. That's something I want to talk about, which we'll move into right now. The Olympics this year.
Nice, Mitch.
Has had some good transition, Mitchell. Has had a lot of news that's been not as sports related as it usually is. But biggest news probably is the COVID cases that have.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the beds too being very tiny. But the COVID cases have been high, and a lot of players have gotten kicked out of the Olympics, and not because of anything they did wrong, just because of testing positive. Which has been weird watching the Olympics without having any fans there. I mean, that was always one of the best parts of the whole thing, just seeing the national pride, usually by the home country, but by anyone that showed up, and just not having a single fan there. It's just been really odd. I think even more strange than it was watching sports last year, in my opinion. Just weird.
I would agree. It was weird. I mean, even some of the indoor events that usually don't have the greatest attendance, like fencing. Just kidding. I wasn't watching fencing, but like indoor volleyball, it's usually a pretty heavily followed sport, and
super intense.
It was just like, you could hear everything the players say, which is
everything.
Funny, but like, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I was watching the men's game the other day. It was USA versus who were they playing?
Was it Russia?
It was France. Oh. USA versus France.
Oh, you're talking basketball?
No, USA. It was volleyball. They were playing.
Oh.
Or no, it was Italy. USA, Italy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was either Italy or France. I don't remember.
Team USA got beat by France in basketball too, but
I saw that. We'll get to that in just a minute. But it was really cool, just intense. Just how athletic those volleyball players are. I mean, it is insane how athletic they are. They jump so high and hit the ball so hard. I mean, it's just nuts. And like you in France, they're doing a great job, I'm sure, or whoever it was, Italy. I don't remember. Yeah. But they could not serve like the Americans were. I mean, it was just these ferocious, vicious jump serves that just were spinning straight into the ground. And we don't talk a lot of volleyball on the show, but that's going to change because it was intense.
Yeah.
What's up with the basketball team, Wes?
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started.
Stupid.
They've lost 3 of their last 4 games.
Players aren't happy with Popovich's system, apparently. And really, we got a bunch of individuals on a team and not a team.
I've never felt like KD was a great leader.
Well, and honestly, they're missing a player that just makes everyone better.
Who's that?
LeBron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because he might not be the best shooter, but he makes everyone on his team better.
Why did LeBron not play?
Just age and.
I mean, you remember him complaining about the turnaround for the season. Of course, that didn't want to play probably as much as he could.
I mean, and we can't say that Team USA doesn't have the most talents. Regardless, they have Kevin Durant, they have Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Draymond, Bam Adebayo. So we have by far the best talent. But France, I mean, they got some solid players too. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. Evan Fournier scored 28 on us. Just a bunch of other role players on France too. That just, I mean, Team USA had a lead in the fourth quarter and a 7-point lead, and they lost it because they couldn't score, and it just felt disjointed, and hopefully they can get it together.
So tell me what you guys think. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I feel like this Olympics and the last one, I don't feel like our players get up as much as they used to. Like when a team plays for their country, usually you see like this renewed sense of energy and just intensity. And I just feel like, at least from our pro athletes, that we don't get up and have that same kind of I'm playing for my country kind of feel that a lot of the other countries do. I mean, I saw the Filipino girl who won the first medal for her country in the Olympics ever. She was doing
first gold.
She was just doing the clean and jerk, and then another guy from like Bulgaria wrestling, and just people just sobbing and just being so proud. In their whole country, you can just see them freaking out. And to America, it's just not that important anymore. That's all.
Well, did y'all see the 17-year-old Alaskan girl got gold medal?
Yeah,
in the
so-
Of course, Jake did.
that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
We were in her hometown when we were on vacation.
At her high school.
We were not at her high school.
We actually met her.
But it was cool. We
raced
kept
against
seeing
her.
all these signs like everywhere.
But you can say you've been watching her since high school, technically.
Technically, I have. But all these signs that said "Go Lydia, go Lydia," and we're like, "What's Go Lydia?" And then we were like, looked up Lydia.
Is this some sort of disease or
Word.
something?
Yeah, and
I got Go Lydia.
What's Go Lydia?
I got Go Lydia.
Oh
But yeah, she's a swimmer that's from Seward, Alaska. So that was pretty cool seeing how hard they were cheering for her, and she got a gold today. But America's been dominating swimming big time.
Yeah, Katie
Our
Ledecky.
best-
She took second. I am so mad at her.
Yeah, that's all right.
Michael Phelps.
I know.
Talk about the medal count real quick. A little update. Here we are on Tuesday, the 27th. Japan is in first by ranked by total.
Have that
Japan has
second
the most
round.
golds right now.
Yes, but as
Not the
far as
most
total
medals.
number of medals, that's US because we have 9 golds, 8 silvers, 8 bronze. But
26.
Japan, 25. 16 plus 9 is 25. I'm on the Olympics website right now. So, but then China has 21 and Japan has 18, but Japan also has 10 golds. I wonder why that is. That Japan's doing so well because they don't usually do insanely well.
Home field advantage.
I forgot
in China.
Japan did win gold in the
Tokyo is Japan. Mitch, you're lucky that
Japan
wasn't talking.
Japan did just win a gold medal in the softball.
Yeah, which was kind of heartbreaking.
Women's softball.
Yeah.
Japan won.
Yes,
They
I
should
guess
have
there
out.
There probably isn't a man's softball. It's just beer league softball. These guys lobbing the ball in. Hoppa!
Shotgun like 3 beers in the middle of the inning.
gold medal.
Yeah. For the
Sorry,
gold.
you won bronze.
What's
Ah, crap.
ROC? Or is that
Russian
Russia?
Olympic Committee.
Why is it called that?
I
Because they-
don't know.
I don't think they can technically still play. Those are individual people. from Russia.
Oh, that's right.
That's
I
right,
forgot
'cause
they
they
were
got banned.
banned.
Pretty sure that's exactly right.
Wow. NOC entries ROC. So what? Do they enter as like individuals or something?
Yep. Or as the committee. I mean, it's kind of like,
So they made a
Uh,
private organization and entered that in.
yes,
Huh.
basically.
It's kind of crap. I mean, going around the rules. Oh, Russia cannot get in.
but-
The Russian Olympic Committee. Yeah,
I don't-
same people. Go ahead.
You guys are good.
They aren't technically for Russia, though. They're like an individual thing.
It will not count towards Russia's counts
Yes.
in history.
That is correct.
You know what bums me out the most about this whole entire Olympics, besides there not being any fans? That it's called the 2020 Olympics. even though it's
It
happening
does
in
bug me a
2021.
little bit too.
It's like every time I
Let's
see
call it
that,
2021. It's
I-
okay.
I always just feel like we're time traveling slightly, or in some
didn't-
alternate timeline.
They didn't want to waste that awesome logo.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird to see because like some guys got some tattoos on their neck and it said 2020 Olympics. I'm like, did you get that today or yesterday?
Yeah, the tattoo artist is like, sir, today 2021.
He's
Not
like,
2020.
don't worry, I fixed your tattoo 2021. No.
Do we think that US will end up with most medals?
Yeah.
We always
Yeah, I
have the
think
most
so.
people. We have the most people this year. We do worse in the Winter Olympics, but I think we'll probably.
I'm pretty sure the U.S. has had the most medals and the most gold medals. I know that at Beijing they didn't have the most gold medals,
No, China did.
but they did have the most medals. But I'm pretty sure they're usually.
That was only
top
15 years ago. 13.
It was a little while ago.
That was
Just
probably
to-
my favorite Olympics ever was the 08 Olympics.
That was a great
Oh.
Olympics. You had the redeem team and
Apollo Ono.
That was awesome.
That
Like
was-
just kind of to touch on the basketball one little bit. I mean, so after 92, 96, they owned again. 2000, they owned. And then 2004, kind of what's going on right now, it's kind of a lull. Like no one really cared. And then, getting, oh crap, the other countries, they're coming back. And then 08, everyone was like all on board with it. And then we killed everybody. So then I think this is
America
kinda
just
like
doesn't
our
have a lot of
2004
pride
year.
right now in general.
Yeah.
Like you got Americans pulling American flags off of people's porches. Like
Yeah.
people are not proud of America right now, which kind of sucks. But
Well, then the Team US women's soccer team went and all but 3 of them kneeled whenever
Yeah.
they played our national anthem.
Oh,
which was
dude.
just
Rachel and I were talking about that yesterday. And I was like, we always enjoyed going to the national soccer team games whenever they were close.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't even want to root for them right now. It's just, but apparently she did tell me almost every team did. As they started, all of the nations did. It started with Great Britain, and then a couple other countries did it. Then America did it. So it
Why?
wasn't just for Black Lives Matter. So it didn't seem like as much of a national thing as it has been for us here in America, because almost the whole world did it. So for their own national anthem. So I don't know. I don't even like talking about it. It just makes me angry. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
But yes.
Moving on.
What's up, Mitch?
I was wondering if this was a sports podcast.
Dude, we can talk about whatever we want, Mitch.
This is entertainment.
This is us having fun.
I just got to know. Are we politicians? Continue.
So how you been, James? What you been
Huh?
doing? You been doing anything fun? I was trying to make Mitch mad. That's all.
It's working. I can see it bloating up his loins.
You've been golfing at all?
I did golf actually this weekend.
Yeah,
Jake,
golf
how
well?
was your baseball team?
Oh, we lost 4 games. My team, my coach lost 4. It was rough. But both of my teams I play for, we made the playoffs in our Thursday league and our Sunday league. So
All right,
we're
moving
pretty
on.
excited.
Okay, cool.
Okay, moving on to our next topic, which is what? MLB Trade Deadline. Oh no, NBA Finals. So the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA Finals for the first time in exactly 50 years.
Stupid Toby said he was going to be here.
Yeah, what's up with that? So yeah, you know what, Toby we really need to ride that guy, because ever since he has gotten his new job, he's just gone big time on us and doesn't come on the show anymore. If you didn't know, Toby now works for a radio station, sports radio in Milwaukee, and he's a producer for one of their big shows. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty solid. He actually talks on it quite a bit, so I take quite a bit of credit for his success in the industry, as we were his launching point. I hope we're on his resume. But he did help cover the Bucks win their championship. We got to go to a couple of those games. So I want to talk with him about what the experience was like for him, but oh well, I guess we're not going to do that. But Giannis Antetokounmpo did score 50 points in game 6, which I thought it was just awesome that they went down 2-0 in Phoenix. I did not think they were going to come back and win this. I thought they may very well win 2 more games, but I thought for sure Phoenix would at least get a third game, make it go 7. But they just came out and won 4 straight games, including 1 in Phoenix, correct? Yeah, 1 in Phoenix. And blew everyone's socks off. I mean, Giannis played one of the best NBA Finals performances of all time. What are your guys' comments and thoughts on the game or the series?
Well, it was still a good series, even though the Bucks ended up winning in 6. But I think when Drew Holiday started just harassing the mess out of Chris Paul, I think that's when the series is completely turned around. Because you saw Chris Paul really just unraveling, which is usually what he does in the playoffs. I mean, he lasted a lot longer this playoff than he normally does. But I guess his age got to him, or just the fact that Drew Holiday was just constantly in his face, face guarding him constantly. And I think that was the turning point, because Booker was still doing Booker things. I mean, he had some bad games here and there, but overall,
he got blocked by Giannis like 3 times in game 6.
Well, Giannis blocks a lot of people. He had a sick block in game 5. Is that what it was?
4.
Game 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the turning point. I'm glad Milwaukee won, even though they beat Atlanta. I was cheering for them just because, I lived in Watertown for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my roots were there, is what it felt like. So, yeah, I was happy. It was good. It was a good series.
No, I think you hit on it. Chris Paul really showed his age in games 3 through 6. And, he's got 1 more year in Phoenix if he wants to opt in. Apparently, he wants to opt out and get 3 years with $45 million a year somewhere else, which you have to be out of your mind to give him that for 3 years. But yeah, he really showed his age, and it was really set. I mean, games 1 and 2, he was pretty dang good, but NBA Finals, it'll expose you if you're not 100%. He did not look 100%,
which is crazy because they had more time off than anybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think a great defender like Holiday, and then Paul with just having just too much tread on his tires to be effective for 6 games or 7 games, get knocked out in 6. So
do you think either of these teams will be back in the finals anytime soon?
They'll be around. I say the Bucks very well could. Phoenix will be around. I don't.
Are you saying they're contenders or not?
They would not go to the NBA championship.
They're not contenders.
Do you think Chris Paul will ever get his finals that he's wanted his whole career?
If he goes to LA,
No,
I would. I mean,
Don't
that's
even say that.
I mean, that would be his best chance.
He's not going as a number 1 or number 2 best top player. He's not going.
He's got to be like a 3 on his team.
or like a 4 or 5.
Yeah. You think so?
That's a good team.
I mean, Gary
That'd be an
Payton
insanely good team.
Gary Payton didn't get his first finals until he was on the Miami Heat, and he was like 41 years old.
Yeah.
So, and he was coming off the bench and playing like 10 minutes a game. So,
Tell you what, I was pretty bummed I didn't get to go to any of the games. I got a phone call from my platoon sergeant, and he runs in Alaska and says, "Hey, you're going to be getting a call later on. It's going to give you a script, but tomorrow morning we need to report to the Buck Stadium for duty. We're going to be monitoring crowd control and traffic. There's going to be 40,000 in the stadium and 60,000 in the Deer District. So there's going to be a lot of extra people that will have to make sure that there's no fights or anything going on." I was like, I'm in Alaska. And he's like, oh, well, never mind. But it was a bummer because all my buddies were like sending me pictures of them, you know, in the middle of it with the Deer District and just watching it on the screen. And I mean, they're wearing their uniform, like these bright yellow vests and everything, but they still got to have a good time for free. And then during the parade the next day, they were handing like jerseys from the players up on the top of the bus and the vehicles back to the crowd and everything. So they had a pretty good time.
Stuff one of those in their pocket.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. Like one of my lieutenant of my platoon he was on the news because some kid like just tossed his jersey up and didn't go far enough. So he grabbed it and handed it up to Giannis. Giannis signed it and then handed it back to him. I was like, man,
cool.
That'd have been cool. I missed out on it, but oh well, it is what it is.
I thought it was funny. Game 6, there Van Gundy and Mark Jackson were talking, and they showed the Deer District. Van Gundy goes, "Dr. Fauci must be having anxiety right now, looking at all those people."
Oh, there was no
awesome.
6 foot.
They were packed in there.
Yeah. It was
so
like
funny.
that for every game too. I mean, they were always out there. It was
I went there when Toronto played Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not near. I mean, I know it's the NBA Finals, but it was so crazy how packed it was this final.
I'm glad to see it. I think it's good for Milwaukee. It's a city that needed it. I think they had a lot of stuff happen with the Kenosha rioting that we had up here. It is a suburb or near Milwaukee, and just there's not a lot of good stuff that happens to Wisconsin. So good for them.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that Giannis has chose to stay in Milwaukee too instead of jump to one of the LAs or New Yorks and something. So I think it's really good for the league that star players are wanting to stay in their smaller cities,
Markets.
Smaller markets. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's really good for the league.
Speaking of, James, did you ever listen to that podcast I told you about?
I totally forgot. I could do it tomorrow though.
You should. You'll enjoy it. It's like 3 or 4 episodes, and I encourage anyone who is into the NBA. But it's called the Woj podcast, WOJ or Wojcast, something like that. And some of his most recent episodes that you don't have to scroll. You want to scroll far to find them. But it talks about the drafting of Giannis and just how he came from what country are they from?
It was
Greece.
a Greek 2 league.
Well, yeah, but he's from Greece, but his parents were illegal immigrants from immigrant. I can't speak. Immigrant from a country in Africa. I can't remember which country. But I mean,
I believe it was Kenya.
He wasn't even very good in his Greek league, but just was recognized as an athletic freak. So, I mean, I remember him being mentioned during that draft, but I didn't realize like how not great he was, and then just how much the league passed on him. It's definitely an episode you should check out. It's called, or a podcast you check out, the Woj podcast, and I think there's 3 episodes about Giannis's draft. It's really interesting.
The really big thing I remember about that draft is there wasn't a clear-cut number 1, and the Cavaliers went and drafted Anthony Bennett. Number 1.
Anthony Bennett.
Everyone was saying this is the worst draft of all time. There's not really a clear-cut star in the top 10. And then
2 MVPs,
which they weren't wrong. I mean, you got Rudy Gobert at 27, and then Giannis at 15. So top 10, but the draft of the Euro big.
Yeah. Well,
Steve
there was
Adams also went 12 in that draft.
There were 8 European players drafted before, or 8 international players, I should say, drafted before the 20th pick. So I don't know if we've ever seen that before or since. All right. Anything else? Going once, going twice. Moving on to the MLB trade deadline. So James has a list of players, not only MLB, but also NBA, of players where we're going to try to predict where they go, if they get traded, and if they'll stay. We talked about this probably a couple months ago, something similar. And we'll just see where it goes. Now, I did not get to research this as much as I would have liked to, but I've got some ideas on some of them here and there. The basketball ones, not so much, but we'll just have to see. So, James, without any further ado, take it away. The trade deadline is July 31st, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, 4 days. So we got 4 days until.
And then the NBA draft is Thursday, and
Mhm.
that's usually when all that trades happen right before
Yep.
that.
Yep.
There was a big trade that happened yesterday, NBA.
What was the NBA trade?
It was the Memphis Grizzlies traded Jonas Valanciunas and their 17th pick to the New Orleans Pelicans for Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and the number 10 pick in the.
I didn't even see that.
Yep. So Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams, and the number 10 pick go to the Grizzlies.
Man, they dumped a lot of cap space with that trade.
They did. Apparently, the Pelicans are looking to sign Kyle Lowry.
Interesting.
So.
All right. Anywho.
Oh,
so
before that, I'm sorry.
okay, cool. That's cool. No worries. I wasn't talking.
Let's just be honest. Your voice doesn't matter. Second, just kidding, James. I love you.
No, I'm okay.
I don't know how I forgot to mention it, but the Cleveland Indians did officially change their name to the Cleveland Guardians. Not gonna spend too much time on it, but I think the name itself is fine. I personally don't like the logo very much. I wish we didn't have to change the team name. Wish we could just stay as the Indians. I think that Guardians is based off of the Guardians of Traffic, two statues that are at the end of a bridge in Ohio or in Cleveland. Okay, I guess. I mean, the statues themselves are kind of old and like not well kept. So it is what it is. I feel like we could have done something better. I personally would have liked spiders. The logo with the baseball and the wings on the side looks very kiddish to me, but logos change all the time. So I guess the name Guardians isn't so bad. Could be worse, but that's my personal 2 cents on it. You guys have any comments you'd like to add?
RIP
Nope.
Indians.
Yeah, it's hard. I'll never see the Indians win a World Series in my lifetime. Had a chance in 2016, unless something crazy happens this year, which I highly doubt. It looks like it'll never happen. 95 and 97. They are not contenders. No, they're not. I don't think they would make the playoffs. All right, that's that. All right, go ahead, James. Take it away.
All right, moving on to more important stuff. Name of this section is Where Will They Go? We did it a few months ago, so we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna give you players. You're gonna tell me where they're gonna go, stay or go, and then say where. We'll start off with baseball. Let's do it off basketball since we just did basketball. We'll start off with Damian Lillard.
Stay.
I say stay as well.
I say stay as well. I didn't really want to talk about it, but Mac asked us to. So way to go, Mac. Way not to be here.
Why
either.
is it Mac here?
I don't know. Probably because of Gronk. Next, James Wiseman. See, now this is interesting because he is a huge trade piece right now, it seems like, for Golden State to move up. So I say
go.
I say go.
Go.
He needs to go potty, baby.
Detroit? Is that who is looking at him? No. Who has the third pick?
Cleveland.
Who has the fourth pick?
Toronto.
I can't remember who. Who do you think they're going to get traded? Do you think he's going to get traded? I'm going to look this up while you discuss that.
So here's my prediction here. The Warriors make a trade with the Houston Rockets, and James Wiseman, 7 and 14, go to the Rockets for Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, and Avery Bradley.
Isn't James Wiseman the one that was just drafted last year?
2 overall.
Why would he get traded?
Because Christian Wood just averaged 23 and 12 last year, and he's the stretch big that the Warriors want that Wiseman is not.
So they don't need him, is what you're saying.
They don't want him.
Christian Wood is an upgrade right now over him. And
Okay.
Christian Wood has a very good contract. He's only making about $12 million a year.
So could they get quite a bit in return, do you think? For a young guy?
I mean, the Rockets would love James Wiseman because he's a young number 2 overall pick. They'd also pick up the 7 and 14, which I don't know if the Warriors would be willing to trade both those picks, maybe just the 7. But getting Eric Gordon and Avery Bradley in return adds to a second unit that needs some help. So having a guy like Eric Gordon who can chip in 16, 17 points off the bench, and Avery Bradley who can defend the best ball handler on the opposing team, I think that helps out the second unit for the Warriors for sure.
I was thinking Orlando is where he's going to end up. The same reason that they're going to trade one of their picks, the 5th pick or the 8th pick, and then Golden State move up maybe from 14, like give up 14 in him for that 5th pick or something. So that's where I think he goes to Orlando.
I don't have a team that I would target, so I guess I'll just stay with stay.
All right, I like it. All right, Bradley Beal.
Stay.
Lakers.
Actually, gonna have a stay as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and do. I think the next two are gonna switch. So I think Bradley Beal is gonna go to the 76ers, and I think who our next person is Ben Simmons. I think he goes to Washington.
I think Ben Simmons goes, but not to Washington.
I also think Ben Simmons goes.
I also think Ben Simmons goes.
I saw rumors of him going to Cleveland or Detroit. What do you think about those options?
I think if Ben Simmons for Bradley Beal is unless they want to chip in like Seth Curry and some picks, because I would much rather have Bradley Beal than Ben Simmons if I'm the 76ers, but if I'm the Wizards, I'm feeling cheated, honestly.
I think Bradley Beal wants out of there too, so I don't think that helps at all. I'm not saying that's going to be a deciding factor in the trade, but
Simmons is good besides his shooting, right?
Yeah, he just is a sissy. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, I saw the issues with him and his
as
coach.
A guy making $35 million a year, you can't have a guy averaging 6, 7, and 8. You know, is
that really what he was doing?
That's Draymond Green money, and Draymond's making like 17 million, and Ben Simmons is making double that. So
I hate Draymond Green so much.
You know, and Draymond's got a better jump shot than Ben Simmons. So.
Yeah,
that's not good.
He does a lot of things better than Ben Simmons.
I would say that.
But maybe Ben Simmons gets his confidence back and becomes a much better player. So maybe it's worth the gamble. But me personally, I think Ben Simmons gets traded to the Portland Trailblazers for CJ McCollum. And they just move Norman Powell to shooting guard and Ben Simmons to power forward. And that way.
So would the young Maxey become the point guard?
What?
Maxey for 76ers.
I mean, you can either do that or just have CJ. CJ ran the point in college, so plus he's a ball. I mean, he's a guard who likes the ball in his hand. So, you know, I think he could run the point or just have Seth run the point or go get one. You know,
all right,
could be Maxey too.
Could be. All right, moving on. We're gonna move on to baseball now. Now this is really heating up. You know, the trade deadline's coming up. We're gonna start off with probably one of the biggest names, Max Scherzer.
He's going to the Dodgers.
Why did you ask us if it's gonna happen?
No reason.
Because I saw the same notification he saw that said Max Scherzer to the Dodgers.
Nothing.
I really hope he doesn't go to the Dodgers, man. That would just suck so much.
I hope I hope he goes to the Giants or the Padres.
I'd love to see him go to the Giants.
He wants to go out west
too.
Yeah, but he doesn't get to pick.
He does get a pick, technically.
Does he have trade blocks in some teams?
He has.
Yes, he does.
Very he can pretty much choose anything he wants to do.
He said he wants to go to the Red Sox, White Sox, or West.
Max Scherzer, no trade clause.
Yes, he does, Jake. You don't have
I just want to see what teams there are, so I'll say a team that he has blocked. Okay, okay, let's see. Oh, he has a no trade clause to the entire MLB.
That's what I'm saying. He could choose anywhere he wants to go.
Choose anywhere. Okay. I think he goes to Boston. He would fit in very well, and they've got a lot to offer that they could give back in return.
I'm gonna go Giants just for the heck of it.
I'd love to see him go to the Giants. I love watching the Giants play because they've got such a beautiful stadium. So if they're in the World Series, I am happy because I don't like a lot of National League teams. So I don't love that at all.
We love.
I actually think that the Giants would be a great fit, but I'm just gonna say he stays because no team's gonna be able to give what they want because he's just a rental because he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah, But I mean,
Yeah, no.
they shouldn't ask for too much though. Then, I
They
mean, like
might.
look
They
at what
might.
Lindor got, and he had a year and a half left, or he had a whole year. I mean, I should say a whole
I
year.
know, but it's Max Scherzer, so maybe
Yeah.
they ask for too much. Who knows?
It's
I
possible.
I think he stays.
I mean,
what'd you say?
He's the kind.
Dodgers.
Okay, sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
He is the kind of guy that can take a team and lead it all the way to the World Series. So
Yeah.
that's who Max Scherzer is.
I'm not saying I'd be upset if he went to the Giants. Just throwing that out there.
All right, moving on. Joey Gallo. I know
Stay.
we had did some of these players last time, but things have changed. Like I said, Yankees for a couple people, and I don't think the Yankees are going to be buyers. So, anyway,
If the Rays did not just get Nelson Cruz, I probably would have said the Rays. But that being said, I'm going to go with the Brewers. I think the Brewers really could use a bat, and he's a good outfielder too. So put him in
He
right
also
field
play
next to.
first base.
Yep. So I think that'd be a good option for him.
The problem is I want to say the same team for two people because I don't know which one is going to go there or if any
That's
of them's
fine.
going to. But I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to say the Braves because we're trying to buy, and that's the position we need.
Is it just because your division's so weak or so even?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. We're playing so much better right now, like
Yeah.
insanely better. Like I kind of cry better. I enjoy watching baseball again. But Jock Peterson and Stephen Vogt have been great acquisitions already. So I say Atlanta.
Although I did just see Bryce Harper stole like 4 bases on the Braves when Vogt was catching the other day. So
He's a good hitter.
he must not have much of an arm.
He's pretty old.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna say Gallo goes, and I still think the Yankees are a huge spot. Are the big favorite there, just because their outfield is just hot garbage right now.
Who did you say, James?
I said Atlanta.
Oh, you're still talking about Joey Gallo?
Yeah, Wes
okay,
was
I'm
doing
sorry.
his part.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Next up, Kyle Gibson.
This one was tough for me. There's a lot of places Kyle Gibson could go. He's pitching out lights out right now.
Not last game.
No, but he still has 2.87 ERA. 19 games started, 10 wins. That's pretty solid. I think he's
Yeah, he had a career high the other night. He had 8 walks.
Wow. That's not great for a guy that's trying to get traded.
Can't win them all, Wes. Can't win them all.
The Rangers were like, "What the heck is this? You're killing us." So
I think he probably goes to.
I'll go. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
something
go
crazy.
ahead. I have a team in my head.
I'm gonna do something stupid, but I think he goes back to Minnesota.
Yeah, no, I don't see that at all.
I just want to see it happen. That's why I'm gonna say it. and
I
I'm
think
going
he
with
goes
it.
to the White Sox, same division, but White Sox. White Sox are for sure going to win their division, and if they felt they had a better pitcher to lock up, 3 or 4 good pitchers in the playoffs, that'd be huge for them.
I changed my stance. I go White Sox.
Yeah, I mean they're winning that division for sure. So this is going to probably be one of the best shots they have at a World Series in a long time. So I think White
In
Sox.
other words, they're contenders.
I'm gonna go with the team that's trying to get in that wild card, maybe even make a run at their division. I'm gonna go with the Athletics.
I could see that. That would not be insanely surprising.
All right, I like it. All right, final one of the day, Chris Bryant.
This one's been one of the toughest ones for me because he's expensive and it's a rental and he's good. I mean, he's like one of the best. If you call him a first baseman, he's like, or a third baseman, I mean, he's one of the top 2 or 3 in the league this year. So it's tough for me and he can play first or outfield. So there's so many places he could go where if a person needs a first baseman, third baseman, or outfielder, he can play anywhere. So it's hard to nail down one spot. What are you guys thinking?
Stays.
I think he goes. I think Rizzo might go too. But I'm gonna go. James will like this. I think he goes to the Braves.
Well, I already said who I was going to pick because I said there's 2 people that I think might go to the Braves.
I would love to see
and Chris Bryant was the other one. Because he can play left field. And
Yeah.
like I said, our left field and our right field are the positions that we really need to fill with some. We have decent guys there right now, but there's no one.
Especially since Marcell Ozuna did what Marcell Ozuna does.
Yeah, and then Ronald Acuna is out for the year.
Yeah.
So we have our corner outfielders it's a little rough right now.
That would be huge.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Mets went out and got him too, just because they're trying to block the Braves from getting him, and because they're the Mets and they want to spend
blockers.
Right now. Although the Braves are putting it on him right now.
I'm going to go with a West Coast team that I think could really use them. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Gigantes.
I think that'd be a big piece for them.
I like it.
Is that the last one?
All right, that's all we have. We'll record this at some point if we remember everything we chose, and if I don't, I'm going to say I did anyways.
The great thing I love about this is we do things like this all the time, and we never look to see how we did.
Mac, I looked today actually at the one we did last time, and Mac is the one that records all this, so I blame him.
Oh, so you didn't keep track of it?
Yeah, not this one, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
Mac is our bookkeeper.
I said stay for everything, so.
Did you actually?
No.
Oh. All right, so let's move into trivia. So I hope you guys all thought of a question.
Sorry. No.
Mitch was about to say something, but he did not. If there's any awkwardness with voice level, Mitch and I are in the same room, so we're kind of different distances from the mic. Anyways, we're gonna do trivia. So James brought this up a month or two ago about an idea. We're all gonna do one question. We're just gonna ask one question. Whoever has the most points at the end gets those points. You can ask the question however you want to. You can do multiple choice. You can do blank, whatever. And then after that, whoever has the highest score wins. So at least this way we all get to participate. So who wants to go first?
I can.
All right, I heard Mitch first, so we'll let Mitch go first.
Well, he's also in your ear. There's no delay, but go ahead.
I have a golf trivia question for us today.
Should have let me go first.
Do you have a golf trivia question?
No.
So in golf, there's obviously a hole-in-one, which is where you make a hole-in-one. And then there is an albatross, which is where you get the ball in the hole 3 under par. So that would be a hole-in-one on a par 4 or a holing out in 2 on a par 5. Now, one of the most renowned tournaments in golf is the Masters. Who of the following 4 names have had both a hole-in-one and an albatross at the Masters?
In the same tournament, or
Did
just
not happen in the same year? That would be
unreal.
Impossible.
The guy would
Tony
cut
Romo,
off,
final answer.
misqualifying.
he'd cut 5 strokes off his game in 2 rounds. Insane.
2 holes.
2 holes, I mean.
Yes, he would go 5 under through 2. But that's never happened and never will. It's probably going to happen next year. So who of the following 4, only one of them has had both a hole-in-one and an albatross at the Masters? Again, this did not happen in the same tournament. Okay. Gene Sarazen, which I think I'm saying his last name wrong. Fuzzy Zoller. Ooh. Tiger Woods. And Louis Oosthuizen.
Who was first?
Jake West James.
I'm going to go with Fuzzy Zoller because I like his name.
I'm gonna go with Louis Usti.
Louis Usti.
Yeah, that guy.
Usti.
Who was the first person?
Gene
I'll
Sarazen.
I'll go with him just so we have some variety.
The correct answer is Louis Oosthuizen.
Nice job,
Usti!
I was going to go with him, but then I decided not to. I should
Yeah,
trust
that's what
my gut.
usually happens.
All right, James, go ahead. I considered all 4 options.
All right. So the Oakland A's have not always been in Oakland. What was their very first city that they were part of?
I know this answer.
You know every answer, Jake.
Choice or no?
Yeah. You want it now?
No. I'm going to wait. I'm going to guess. Oh. Yeah, I'll wait for multiple choice, I suppose.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm gonna wait as well.
All right. Your possible answers are Kansas City, Philadelphia, Boston, Houston.
Wow. Kansas City, Philadelphia, Boston, or Houston?
And it will go Wes, Mitch, Jake.
Were they called the Athletics during that time?
They were.
I'm
Which
gonna go with
I thought was interesting because I don't even know where that name came from. Like that's a weird mascot.
Probably
Philadelphia.
because they were athletic.
Philadelphia.
Okay, Mitchell.
I was going to say Philadelphia. Kansas City.
I also think Kansas City.
All right, so they've been to 3 different cities. Their most recent, Oakland, obviously. Their second city was Kansas City, and their first city was the Philadelphia Athletics.
Yeah.
So we both got a point?
No.
No, West got the point. So it was actually Phillies were there too. So there was 2 teams in Philadelphia.
Oh, so it was which one was the first one?
Philadelphia.
I know. I thought you asked the question, what was their previous city?
No, I said what was their first city?
Okay,
Literally, the word was first.
Okay, you're good. You're good. All right. Bummer.
So West is up 2-0-0.
So they're about to be in their 4th city when they leave Oakland here soon.
I don't think they leave. I hope not. I love Oakland.
You do?
I've been there, so I like it.
It's like a trash of a city, man. It's awful.
It's a little ghetto, but Atlanta was the same way.
James, like, I feel like I'm at home.
Anywho.
All right, Wes, what you got for us?
All right. In honor of the trade deadline coming up, which MLB team has made the most trades since 2003, which is when the Diamondbacks and Rays were added to the league? So most trades since 2003.
Total or in a year?
Total by a team. Total.
I'm going to be waiting for multiple choice.
Yeah, I'll wait. No, I'm going to go for it because I need 2 points because I have to ask the next question.
You're going to get 0.
Well, I have to ask the next question. I can't get 8 points in the last one. I'm going to go with the Rays.
Okay.
I'm so I could tie. Dang it. I'll wait.
Mitch, any? No.
Oh, no, I'm waiting.
Can I change my answer?
Sure.
I'm going to change to Boston.
All right. The answer choices are, is it the Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, or the San Diego Padres?
I know you added Red Sox. You added it.
Or did he add Rays?
Oh, did I?
Nobody add Rays.
Because I said Rays the first time.
I said 3 AL East teams.
If it's Rays, I'm going to kill myself.
Please be Rays. All right. I was gonna say Yankees right away, so I'm just gonna go Yankees.
That wasn't in the options.
Yes, it was. It was Rays,
Yep.
Red Sox, Yankees. What was the other one?
Padres.
I was thinking Padres, weirdly enough. So I'm going to say Padres.
All right. This team has made 150 trades since January 1st, 12 more than the second place team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's like, whoa, so weird. The Boston Red Sox
Yes.
have made 150 trades.
Therefore, I must make this question impossible so that no one can pass me.
Bet Jake's asking a question about the Olympics.
I am asking a question about the Olympics. I have to turn away so Mitch cannot see my question.
Shows the camera.
I think I know the answer.
Okay. California currently is the state that has the most Olympic golds. The most Olympic medals and the most Olympians, with 124 total Olympians and 58 medals from that state. What state has the fewest? Oh, I'm sorry. There are several states with 0. What state has the fewest Olympians? There are 5 that are tied. If you can get one of them, I'll give you the point.
So we're picking a state with 0.
No, Olympians, not medals. There are no states that have 0 Olympians ever.
Okay, so picking.
So there are 6 states. I'm sorry, they have only ever had 1 Olympian. 6 states that have only had 1 Olympian. I'll give you one guess. If you get one of them, you get a point.
Wait,
I got to get 2 points to tie West. So
yeah, if it's a guess,
Well,
without
too
a-
bad.
Well,
You
I'm
already-
not
two
giving you
points.
okay, fine. I'll give you multiple.
can I just say 2 states and get 2 points?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You can
All
you can guess twice.
But if you get one of them wrong, you get 0.
No, but everyone gets 2 guesses.
It doesn't matter because we got to get 2 points and West has got to get 0.
Cool. Okay.
So West should go first. You.
All right, Wes.
Meh. Okay, I'm gonna go Montana and Maine.
I was thinking Maine.
I was going to go North Dakota and Maine, but I'm going to go North Dakota and Vermont.
Ooh. I'm going to say...
One thing that scares me about Maine is those hockey players.
That's why I didn't say it. And because you said it.
Whatever.
Thanks for saying that, Wes, because now I'm not going to say Maine.
You're welcome.
Austin Riley has 2 home runs, a grand slam, and a 2-run home run today.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that last week against Toby.
This is such a weird question.
It's not that hard, Mitch. You're not going to get it. Just go.
I know.
Honduras and Mexico.
I'm going to say
Nailed it.
Rhode Island. That's a small state. And
I love this quality content.
South Dakota.
Jake.
All right. So here are the states that have only ever had one Olympian: Alabama, Maine, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Vermont. Oh, U.S. Virgin Islands isn't actually a state. That's it. Just those ones.
We all got one.
Y'all got one. So did West win then?
Yeah.
The 3 points.
We need a tiebreaker, don't we?
Oh, that's the victory.
I do have one more question for fun.
Okay. Wait. Here is one small thing.
Yeah.
Mitchell or West James, whatever your name is. Montana's not on my list, so they must have 0 Olympians. But that still only gives you 2 points.
Still win.
So West still won. So there it is. Congratulations. Any other final closing comments before we go?
James.
What was James' other question?
Oh, what was your question, James?
I was just going to ask, what are the most RBIs in a single inning in baseball history?
8.
Isn't it?
Fernando Tatis.
Yeah. He had 2
That's
grand
why
slams.
That's why I changed my question, because
Yeah.
I knew one of you would probably know it.
Yeah. He hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
I guess the same pitcher.
Yes.
Bless him.
Shoha Kang. Something like that.
Poor
Kong.
guy should have been taken out a long time before they came back
Yes.
around.
Just our resident golfer here, Colin Morikawa, did win the British Open, becoming only the 2nd player in golf history to win both the British Open and the PGA Championship before he turns 25. Tiger Woods is the other one. The man is destined for
Cool.
greatness.
All right, guys. Next week we will probably touch on fantasy football as we're rolling into August and draft season comes along. So if you have any questions about draft strategy or something along those lines, we'll definitely put out a social post letting you know what we're going to be doing exactly, so you guys know what kind of questions to ask. But that'll be coming up next week and more on the Swinging Bunt. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, is where you put most of our stuff. Always on Twitter, on Instagram as well. Ask questions, stay engaged, tell your friends about us, and be sure to listen and download and be prepared for the next one. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.